Hi, I'm Alex Paul, and I'd like to welcome you to an impromptu episode of Talking Timepieces. I was out drinking and talking with friends, and I realized that I wanted to say something about both Just One More Watch and YouTube and the timepiece gentleman and the watch industry, and I didn't want to come across as like diving on the bandwagon, so I figured at this stage, either you're looking at it because you're interested in my take, or I'm really slow as a journalist, but that's luckily not the case. But I think there is something to learn from both of those things, because not only they happened, it's almost a case study. If anybody was doing any serious business school studies about watches and the watch industry and watch collecting. And not only that, YouTube and the subcultures within YouTube and marketing, because frankly, I've been in all of those fields. I'm currently still the editor of a sincerely serious engineering publication. And I started doing specialty publications. The first magazine I ever worked for was Overseas Magazine, the leisure magazine for the military man in Europe. Well, I do live here. And I grew up in Queens and I came here. But I say the bottom line too much. But the thing that I wanted to take from this and I wanted to share with you is this situation with the timepiece gentleman and the situation with Just One More Watch shows you how vibrant and excellent, joyous, gemütlich the watch community is. A true fraternity. And I've felt fraternities and groups. I've never quite belonged, being, someone who flits about, not quite belonging to anything but being able to work for anyone. But for example, in the engineering community, the power electronics community is very, 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 very fraternal. Very fraternal. And the ladies included. Sorry, Ada. But it's a true fraternity within the power electronic community. And part of the reason that power is a fraternity within the embedded electronics community is that power used to be the redheaded stepchild of electronics. Anybody who knows electronics, anybody who's worked in electronics knows what I'm talking about. If you were lucky back in the 60s and 70s, if you were lucky, they would draw a square on the circuit board and say, put the power there. And they gave a rat's ass about whether or not you could accomplish that task, and you'd have to go to management to get it enlarged or changed or whatever, because to respin a board cost a comical amount of money. And once upon a time, people didn't give a shit about power, and they would sometimes lay out a board without even thinking about the power requirements, which today would be comical. And the reason I'm talking about that is because one day power became important. Battery life became important. Energy efficiency became important. New semiconductors appeared on the horizon. I know personally a guy, really cool guy, by the way. His name is Bruce. I'm not going to say his last name. And he started a company, and they're using artificial intelligence to plan and scope the power wave so they can turn the FET on, the transistor on, right before the power hits. Because today, it's a reactive situation. The power hits, the FET changes, and you lose about 20 to 30% of the energy flipping over. And he's working on using artificial intelligence to predict that. Flip the FET right before the current hits, and you're saving 30%. 30% of energy. Now, power is now the sweet darling of the industry. Now, I say that because watches are often looked upon as an affectation, and such. But it is a community, and it's not an insignificant community. It's a community with heft. I mean, even if you're playing around in the shallow end of the pool, as they say, because I have an entire video about how I hate I hate the term entry level. There are tiers. There's a shallow end of the pool and there's a deep end of the pool. The fact that you may choose to stay in the shallow end doesn't mean you can't swim. You may not feel like being in the deep end. And that goes, and I like to use cars and watches as an analogy. You may choose a Mustang because you like a Mustang. And people could talk Porsche all day, and I'm a Porsche guy. But if you like what it represents, and if someone gave me a Mustang at a good price, I would buy one tomorrow if I had a parking place. And I live in a place where I don't have a parking place and I don't own a car. But what I'm saying is that there are communities. Cars are a community, and watches are a community. And what Timepiece Gentlemen and Just One More Watch showed us is that it is a community that can both punish and reward. And the carrot and the stick, and the fact that it can do both, demonstrates that it's a true community that is vibrant and beautiful and wonderful. And I love all of you people. And I know all of you, not all of you, but I mean all of the ones who stood up for Just One More Watch and helped get them back online. Phenomenal people. And I've quoted them before, so I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon. I mentioned how they were an inspiration, how he and I blank, and I'll pull the old card. I'm almost 60, but Just One More Watch is an inspiration for this channel. So, long story short, and I'm not going to get into the Timepiece General. I'm not going to get into the brouhaha or the details. All I'm pointing out is the community recognized that what Timepiece Gentlemen did was wrong, and they were punished. The community also recognized that what Just One More Watch does is helpful, useful, healthy, wonderful, and inspiring. And I love them. So the community gives and the community takes. And that shows that it's a true community and a wonderful, lovely, vibrant community that I am proud to be a part of. And I didn't open because it's what you would call a jewelry store would say it's the night display. Like I said, I just came back from drinking. I always put all the good pieces in the big safe before I leave for more than an hour. But we're a community. Remember that. And act like it too. So that means, like I've said in other videos, if you see something on someone's wrist and you don't like it, that doesn't give you carte blanche to shit on it. Be nice. They're a brother or a sister. In my mind, even digital watches, if it's purpose-built to be a timepiece with, timekeeping peripherals, I'm going to stretch that far, but I don't consider smart watches watches. But if you have a watch with hands, you're a community. I don't care if it's quartz-driven. I don't care if it's driven by little cockroaches that you've trained to run in circles. If you got a watch with hands, you're part of a community, a fraternity, a sorority, a community. And I love you all. And the fact that you helped save Just One More Watch is just a sign of the power that you have, because YouTube is colossal and immense and powerful. And like I said, I've been in the publishing industry 30 years. Whew. To get somebody like YouTube to move, that just shows you the power of this community, because they're not stupid, and neither are you. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this, which I thought was going to be way shorter, but have you ever heard me talk short? So, thanks for taking the time. Please subscribe. I'm so close to being able to talk to you all directly. And yeah, it'll be fun. Have a great day.